This episode of GuildCast is sponsored by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform that makes it fast and easy to create a professional website, blog, portfolio, and online store. For a free trial and 10% off your first purchase on new accounts, go right now to squarespace.com and use offer code Gamebreaker6. Seriously. Waiting. Still waiting.
Gamebreaker TV.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to GuildCast, episode number 74 for June 10th, 2013. I'm Gary Gannon. You're watching Gamebreaker TV. Coming up on today's show, content updates are becoming more permanent. The developer answers questions from Lion's Arch and hot topics from Reddit this week. All that and more. But first, straight back from the dentist with one less file in his face, it's Mr. Richie Procopio.
Hi, Gary.
Are you okay?
He's still
Fine.
high.
You're fine? Oh, just sopping up some blood in your mouth?
Just a little, you know, I don't want to drool blood during the show. Yeah.
Matt, you know what's going on here?
Yeah, I forced him to be on
Richie's
the show.
high. No, he's high. He's so whacked out. He's high on Vicodin. Look at him. He's just like, what's up, man?
Well, I haven't actually taken my pain meds yet, but maybe after the show.
Maybe
Really?
before. You might want to before we start.
My
Yeah,
tooth
until-
has a heartbeat right now, though. As I'm doing the show, I feel it beating.
All right, so this is like the seventh week. We need an update. You have just come from the dentist chair hours ago.
Yeah.
And you had a piece of file from a previous dental appointment stuck in your tooth that apparently took like 9 trips to the dentist to actually remove. Maybe you should find a new dentist first of all. I don't know. I'm just saying. Maybe you want to look for a new dentist. I'm not really sure, but
Yeah. It's out.
what's the status? It's out.
The
It's gone,
file
it's
is out. My jaw got locked open 2 more times. That had to be snapped back into place.
What do you mean? What do you mean locked open? What? What do you mean?
The thing is that this procedure is so long. I was literally for over an hour with my mouth wide open, and when he finally took all of the stuff out,
You just
right,
couldn't
even
move
though
it?
I could not close my mouth, it becomes unhinged, and it's a really frightening feeling. You're just stuck with your mouth open, and he has to stick his fingers in and kind of pop it back into place, and he had to do it twice today. So it was bad.
God, man, really? Like
Yeah,
it's literally
I've had a
unhinged
horrible
from your
few weeks with it.
jaw.
It's so-
It's not just the muscles like being in that position for too long. It's
No,
literally
it's-
like
It's like a lockjaw
unhinged.
type thing. Yeah.
How bad did that
Oh.
hurt? Or were you just high?
It's not a hurt thing. It's more of a panic, uncomfortable, like, oh my God, will I ever be able to close my jaw? Damn
You
thing.
seem kind of okay. Like you don't seem like you're in much pain.
No, I'm in pain. Like I said, it's throbbing. It's hurting pretty bad right now.
Pain meds.
He's Boggart's an
Pain
actor.
meds. Yeah,
You
we'll
can
do that
act it
later.
out.
But I have to go back. The root canal is not finished. Now they get to finish the root canal. So
Wow.
So you have to
I
go back
to
into
go back.
that same tooth and go do some more work.
Yes, more work on the same tooth later this month.
Sounds like
yes.
fun.
Dude, you're having a terrible time with this tooth. I would have told him
Yeah.
to just take the damn thing out. Just be like, get rid
You
of
know
it.
what? If I knew where it was going to go, I would say, you know what? Take it out. Give me an implant. Let's be done with this.
Be done with it, but a lot quicker and less painful. Wow. All right. So there's the status on that. We're going to talk about Guild Wars, of course. But E3 started today, and we're going to be doing a ton of coverage actually starting tomorrow on Gamebreaker TV. We will be down on the showroom floor at E3. Lots of interviews coming, a bunch of people. WildStar, CCP, Square Enix, you name it. We'll be doing coverage, so expect a lot of video coming out tomorrow. But pre-show, both of you guys were sort of, well, not so much Richie, just Matt. Richie was like,
Yeah.
I got a tooth taken care of today, and Matt was all excited. I don't know, really quick, really fast. I know I want to talk about Guild Wars 2, but so far, first day, Matt, what are you most excited about? Don't tell me everything. Just give me like one thing. There's like a 2-minute.
One thing. Oh,
well, because
man.
we're gamers, we get
has
really
to be.
excited because I could be like, the crew, division, this, that, the Clancy
If I had to
thing.
pick one thing,
Yeah, pick
it
one.
would have to be Mirror's Edge 2.
Really?
That's one thing. Yes,
Wow.
I love the first one. I love the first one. So this one, I can't wait. And just like that guy said, everyone was asking for it because it's one of those cult following games. Not everyone liked it, but
Richie's
people who
excited
did
about
like it, loved it.
Richie was excited because he loved Dragon Age 2 so much. Can't wait for 3.
Actually,
Oh,
that
God.
Project Spark for the Xbox One looks,
That looks
pretty
really
cool.
interesting. That looks really
Yeah, I
interesting.
like that.
They need to
Richie,
show
but
a
what
little
would be
bit
your
more
pick?
on
What would be
it,
your
too.
one pick so far of day one?
I only watched the Xbox presentation, and I really like that the Xbox One has the Twitch integration. As somebody who live streams and stuff like that, that's a pretty exciting feature for me. So that was a big plus.
Man, I guess now I have to pick one, and I really don't have one. I mean,
They both stream though. PS4 streams as well. I heard that they use Ustream. I thought they used Twitch as
No,
well. I mean,
the
who
Xbox
else?
got the Twitch. Xbox got the Twitch.
That
Everybody,
makes no
when
sense.
when PlayStation announced the Ustream thing back when they originally announced, everybody was like, "Oh my God, why'd they go with Ustream?" Now you know, Xbox got the deal, so it's Twitch and Xbox, Ustream and PlayStation. They had to go with somebody, right? They had.
Ustream, dude. No one.
Dude, what are you
uses
gonna
it.
do if somebody else gets the exclusive? They get the contract. What are you gonna do? You go with nobody and just be like, "All right, well, we won't live stream."
I don't know that.
We'll just check.
I don't know.
We'll
I
just
think
cut
it's
that
gonna
off.
fail.
Get that off the agenda because Ustream is so bad. We just won't even do it. Just cut it off. Yeah, forget it.
Well, that's what they did last generation with their online service. Xbox Live got us. We might as well just not do anything online.
Xbox definitely got them on the live stream. I guess if I have to pick one thing right now that I've kind of out of nowhere. There's two things. I'm only supposed to pick one. The two things that struck me, like I had no idea about them though, was the crew, and the second one is Division. Division looks like I just didn't expect that at all. Like totally didn't expect it.
Division with the one with when they're
Tom
shooting
Clancy's
the
Division,
glass,
which looks almost like I don't know if it's going to be like a small like server sort of based MMO, maybe DayZ-ish, like with a small group of people where it's not zombies,
No, I think
but
it's
you're
gonna be
I don't know.
multiplayer. I think
Kind
that's
of-
what they're sporting.
Yeah,
After
interesting.
Watch Dogs, it seems everyone's going out this open world multiplayer thing, and especially the success of DayZ.
Oh wait, no, I'm changing mine. I forgot. What am I? I'm mental today. I can't even think. I'm going on 3 hours sleep. No, there's absolutely no question. It's The Witcher 3. Done. That is
Good
my.
pick.
It does
that'll
look
probably be
good.
my only thing.
Yeah, I've
That is
never
my-
played it, so I need to
my-
I need to get down and play it. I need to get down.
You've
played
never played The
a-
Witcher? You've never played The
No.
Witcher? Really?
I played a bit of Witcher 1 and a bit of Witcher 2. I haven't finished either of them, which kills me, but both of those games are great.
Richie, I'm glad you joined me this week because we're just gonna do
I mean, I played
Back
a
to
little
old
bit of the
times.
first one.
back to old times here. Just me and
There
you,
we
bro.
go.
Just me and you.
Oh gosh!
All right, I'm gonna next because I'm cheap. Next time Witcher 2 goes on sale because I won't buy it at full price. I'm gonna gift both of you guys the Witcher 2 when it's like $4 because it's so cheap now. But if it's like
Should I
15, I'm
buy-
not paying for it.
Should
I have
play
Witcher.
2
I have
or
Witcher 2.
1?
Just
Should-
don't even buy.
should I
No,
start
don't
from
buy
2?
one. Just do 2 because one
Okay.
was a little clunky. Or if you really, really, really loved it and want to get the whole story arc, yeah, then I'd say do 1. But you can do 2.
Yeah, I agree.
Kind of gamers are. You should be RPG players. You should be ashamed of yourselves. All right.
Oh man.
No, I'm kidding. But I love. They're like the BioWare to me now. Like BioWare is dead to me, and CD Projekt is just the company for RPG fans. And The Witcher 2 is probably my favorite game of the year.
Yeah,
All
they
right.
go hardcore. Yeah,
They do.
go-
They do. All right. Colin Johanson talks about the living world, which we've been talking about a lot on the show, waiting for more. Here's what he had to say. He said, we've been playing around so far this year with a lot of different concepts to see what works for a living world game and see what players liked and didn't like. Based on all of your feedback, you'll be seeing a greater degree of permanent content built into future living world releases in 2013. And of course, some things you've seen before may return again in its current form, but updated like SAB or Holiday Festival, or in a new form entirely. So permanent content definitely seems like what people are after. I think most people didn't like seeing it go away. You know, things like Super Adventure Box and stuff like that. People are like, this absolutely has to stay in the game. Do you think that the content that has been kind of coming and going is going to go completely away? Or you think they're just going to like start everything that they start adding will be somewhat permanent? No?
No, I think they're going to keep the approach of things changing and going away because that fits the living story, right? You know, we just had this event in South Sun where one of the main characters, you know, Inspector Keel, was doing a lot of the investigation down there. And, you know, at the end, you get a cutscene and she's going to take some rest and relaxation and go celebrate the Dragon Bash. So, you know, come tomorrow when the Dragon Bash comes, Inspector Keel's character will be in Lion's Arch now, not South Sun. So for anything that's kind of living story related like that, we have to see a progression and a change. Otherwise, it doesn't really make sense that this character is all over the place. So I think we're going to continue to see temporary content, but I do think that based on the feedback, they're going to start doing some more permanent things as well. Because think about it, like, what have we gotten? We've gotten some huge features the last few months, right? Huge features in the game. But besides guild missions, I can't think of much in the way, and the Queen Karka, I can't think of much in the way of what kind of permanent PvE content there's been. Yeah. You know?
Not much.
So I think they need to kind of fix that balance a little bit and do a little bit more, you know, things that stay in the game. And then, you know, as long as there's enough of that, then it's fine that some things are temporary.
And I do get why. I mean, it kind of makes a lot of sense, especially like why they would need to experiment in this realm conceptually. I mean, it's got to be pretty tough, and it's got to be pretty hard to mix dynamic content and permanent content like in living, isn't it? I mean, it's a pretty new thing that they're kind of using. So basically they use the players as a test bed for a while and really figure out what they want.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen who else is really doing stuff like this, right? I mean, I'm sure there's other companies that have you know, that are doing rapid, you know, development, right, and putting out a lot of content. But you know, there's just a lot of these little things that are just popping up. I mean, I have a Flameseeker video for Massively going up tomorrow where I kind of talk about it. But if you just think about from March until today. Just like we started out having just content every month, and then it started to do like every 2 weeks, and now we're even getting things that are like some things even weekly. And you know, there's a lot of experimentation here. This is kind of like new territory. So once they figure out what you know what works best for their company and really and what the players really want, and they keep this up, I think we have a potential of seeing some really crazy things in the future from ArenaNet.
Right, because like they put out Super Adventure Box, which is supposed to be like some type of little flash game, or you know, they weren't even going to spend much time on it, and it ended up being a full-fledged game, and it brought high reward for them. A lot of people enjoyed it, and I'm going to say the majority, because some people didn't like it, but I think so. They look at that like, okay, SAB was a good thing, so maybe we should make more stuff like that just totally like change it up on you and just with a wacky trailer. So we'll have more events like that. So the events that we like, they'll keep doing, and events we don't like, they kind of, you know, push to the side and, you know, sweep to the side. Like, okay, let's close that door a little bit. So I think that's pretty good. As long as they learn from their mistakes, I think shape the game really well. After a year, we might see some crazy monthly events.
I'm gonna bring up the fact, like, you know how they're like super anal about, like, you know, the world kind of feeling like Guild Wars, right? But then they come along and do Super Adventure Box, but town closed, man, not gonna happen. See, we can put Super Adventure Box in, which is like completely out of the realm. No, I'm not. I digress. All right.
They can explain everything. They can explain everything away with the Sura technology.
Yes, there you go. It's done. What about like Ore as an example? You think people want to see the Arisen get pushed back? Lore wise, you know.
Yeah, I'm tired of Ore, man. I don't go there anymore. We don't speak about it. It's all brown and gray. I would like to see Ore back to its original state. You know, like with some grass, or at least one patch of the area. You know, that actually formed grass and started growing trees and stuff. That would be a good change. That's something they could add. But that's the thing. Here's the living story.
But what do they replace it with? I mean, from Arenas, if they push back the Risen, or if they allow players to, they're kind of taking away content, right? Like, what do they replace that with? They can't just like put nothing there and just put trees and grass.
Right, true. They could just probably open up a new area, maybe. I don't know.
It's a lot of work, though, right? It's like a whole thing.
It's an interesting point, though, because that's where the things get a little confusing, right? You have your personal story, which continues through the stories in the dungeon, right? And it goes through all of the Destiny's Edge getting back together, and then you go and you fight Zaitan, and spoiler alert, Zaitan dies, right? And that's all part of the Ore storyline. But then you have the living story. So the living story changes week to week, bi-weekly or monthly or whatever, and things evolve like South Sun. But the personal story and the dungeon stories have been static. So it's a good point that you bring up there that, yeah, Zaitan has been defeated by a lot of players, but Ore still stays in the pre-Zaitan state. So there's a little bit of a disparity of how they're dealing with their storylines.
What do you guys think?
That could be some good temporary content, though. Can you imagine, like, all of a sudden, for this week, Ore is green, and you get to fight ponies and stuff, and unicorns, or some actual enemies, just not centaurs, of course. But it would be pretty cool.
Fight ponies and unicorns in your town clothes. In your town clothes.
And double rainbows across the sky.
All the way.
Yes, always.
It sounds fantastic. It sounds better than the Risen.
It sure does.
What do you guys make of this guy? So there's a developer going by the name of Snowcrash, and he answered a few random questions on the Tarnished Coast server. Reddit seems to trust this guy. Do you guys think he's legit?
Reddit trusts him. Oh boy.
Yeah, Reddit's trust. You think he's? What do you think?
I think that's Chris Whiteside. And he actually was responding to some of the questions on that Reddit post as well. So I think in general people are think that these statements are valid. So I think it's legit.
All right, well, we've got no real quotes, just paraphrasing, so take everything here with a grain of salt. So get your salt ready. Here we go. When asked about Cantha, he said that the Cantha was definitely not cut from the game, but we'll have to wait and see. Do you believe Matt Visual? Do you believe?
Oh my goodness. Cantha is alive? It's not dead?
Hey, this it sounds like if you believe Reddit says he's legit.
Well, all right. So I didn't know anything about why they cut it from the game, right? And Richie linked me a post saying, okay, the reason why they took it out is because of the Asian themes and they want it to be more universal. So that's why they cut it out. NCSoft wanted it, and I don't know if it was from a trusted source or anything like that. But that's weird. Like, why cut it out from the game? And it was supposed to be in Divinity's Reach for people who didn't know, and it's not there.
There was a Cantha section of Divinity's Reach, right? Apparently, originally, and all of that comes from a rumored ex artist or something like that went on. But you have to take these rumors with a grain of salt. And if the latest rumor from this Reddit post or from Chris Whiteside talking on one of the servers is that basically it's not necessarily dead. Now that doesn't mean we're going to see it anytime soon, and it doesn't mean that it's not going to be extremely different than it was in Guild Wars 1. But it's good to know that a whole continent worth of Guild Wars history is not just completely never going to make it into the game. So.
What would they change it to, I wonder? Just wouldn't be Asian anymore? It would be something totally different? I don't know. Can't just bring pandas in there.
Sure they can. Why not? Everybody loves pandas, man.
I mean, easy what work I have to do with pandas. Oh, it's fine there. It's fine.
I'm watching the Sony PlayStation thing right now, and The Last of Us is on and completely just taking my attention away from everything. And I'm like, wait, maybe I want to change The Witcher to The Last of Us because it's getting 100s and perfect scores everywhere. I cannot wait for Friday. Sorry.
I want to play.
Totally being distracted. Totally.
I'm gonna test you about what I've said during the show today.
No idea. How's your tooth doing?
It's fine. Should I pick the gauze up off the floor and put it back in my mouth?
Yeah, please do that.
Do that.
I mean, they have a lot of time to work with, though, between like the time period between the two games to work with, right? So they could potentially bend the lore a little bit and kind of make it a little bit more culturally acceptable to Asia if they really wanted to, right? They've got that flexibility.
Yeah, and there goes the big advantage of setting, your new game so far ahead of your old game. So you have got all of that time to kind of say, all right, this is what's happened in that 1,000 years, and you know what? The architecture is going to look a bit different than you remember it, and the culture is going to be a bit different. So they can kind of, if there were concerns from NCSoft on, how acceptable the mix of these Asian cultures were presented in it, they can legitimately fix those issues, and they'll have story reasons of why things have changed. So absolutely, I think we will see Cantha at some point. I just don't think we're going to see it anytime soon.
He says he talked about dungeons. He says they'll continue to work on the old and new ones. That's wasn't really much surprising there. But on rating, yes, he said rating. He hinted that their answer to it may very well be in the works. Was sort of roughly how it was put. Again, right? What could that mean? Like, are there any other rumors floating around about what this could possibly be, or just the fact?
But I even talked about that last episode.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
It was prophetic.
It just seems to happen every episode. We always talk about something before, and it always ends up on the next episode, doesn't it? Like every single time.
We're always right. Every show on Gamebreaker is always right. That's it. Bottom line.
Yeah, I think we will. Obviously we're going to see something. I was waiting for some sort of surprise, and I do. And I think we've talked about this way in the past too, when Scott Hawks was on the show, that ArenaNet will do their own spin on rating too, and this kind of quote kind of backs that up. I don't think it's going to be rating in the traditional sense that you think of World of Warcraft and here's a dungeon with the 7 bosses that you have to, gear up for and all that kind of stuff, and raid resets and different things like that. But it sounds to me that there's going to be some sort of PvE-based larger group content hitting Guild Wars 2, and that makes me super, super excited. So excited, because that's the content I really want to sink my teeth into. That's a stupid joke.
The thing is,
that joke, my tooth into.
The thing is, with raiding and these new dungeons, what's going to be the reward of doing this? It would have to be gold, because you're not going to get much from okay, you're going to get a weapon set or cosmetic skins. At this point, I don't really care. Like I don't want another cosmetic. I mean, okay, yeah, if it looks good, I'll get it. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to go back to it for the cosmetic again. I'm not going to do it just because it's fun. I'm going to do it because there's a reward. So I wonder, what would be the system for that? Would it be gold?
The password is Ascended Armor.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
Snap.
Okay. All right.
I think Richie just had one of those moments again. Next
Maybe.
show.
Better armor.
Yes.
I mean, we know that they're going to come out with it, right? We know that eventually every slot will have an Ascended piece. So, and they were correct last year when they tried to calm everyone down and said, this is going to take a long time before all the slots are upgraded, so chill out. And so far we've only gotten, the few, accessory and jewelry slots and the back piece and stuff like that. So, there's definitely, they need some system for distributing the Ascended weapons and the Ascended armor, so it could be something like this.
Some hardcore content. This is my thing right now.
Isn't that like that? Well, we bring this up time and time again on this show. I mean, this is something that even our buddy Scott Hawks would, just harp on constantly, is that the one thing that the game really sort of lacked and needed was larger group content. I mean, that's something that players, I think, desperately need, and still. So it seems like, I don't know, if we think this dude's legit, it sounds like they have something definitely in the works, and I don't know. Hopefully, we could see this soon.
Definitely,
hope so.
I mean, guilds immediately become much more valuable. Depending on how close this is to like raid level difficulty kind of stuff. I mean, even more so, right?
Right. Well, I mean, you have a lot of guilds right now that are, if they're interested in PvE, they will have like one night a week or whatever where they set aside to do guild missions, right? But that's really all you get out of it. You get together one night a week. And then there's the guilds that do the world versus world, and they might do that a few times a week. But if you have if you have some sort of larger group content or ArenaNet's answer to the raid, then it suddenly gets a little bit more exciting. You have, Mondays we'll do guild missions. On Wednesdays we're going to do world versus world. Fridays we're going to do the raiding and stuff like that. And now you've got people logging in on a schedule, and that social stickiness is so important to an MMO that, even if, you don't love the reward system or you already got your ascended gear or whatever, you're going to still show up to support your teammates, to support your guild and stuff like that. So that's the kind of thing we really need. And they've got some of the pieces in place, but definitely a rating of some sort would help that, at least for me.
The other thing that he said here, which kind of makes it interesting, and I want to see if you guys have any ideas for it. Put on your tinfoil hats, or look in your crystal ball, I should say. But he also said it would be unique to Guild Wars 2, which is an interesting statement, right? I mean, so like what could you possibly see ArenaNet doing? Because I mean, a lot of people are thinking, well, maybe just more standard sort of rating, but it doesn't sound it's that simple.
Unique. Yeah, what is it? What was it, like 25 men is the usual rating, Richie?
Oh, there's 10 or 25 or 40.
But I don't even know if it's just the number, the group size would be the unique. And that's really, I don't think that would be a unique enough factor to the whole thing of just that they change the number of people. I think there's something else to this, and I don't know.
Sure.
I can't quite put my finger on like what they're thinking.
I don't know either. I wish I had a. You know what? It's flex rating. Oh wait, somebody else is.
Oh, it's flex rating. Oh.
What is flex rating?
It's in World of Warcraft.
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, it's the apocalypse, and you have a little girl as your companion, and it's gonna be awesome next Friday. That's what it is.
Companions.
There it is.
I don't know. I can't really. I can't. ArenaNet will surprise us with something. I'm sure. The second you try to guess something that they're doing, they'll come out with Super Adventure Box, and your whole 8-bit world, your whole 8-bit mind just blows up. So I don't know. It could be something where they integrate, jumping puzzles with a dungeon and have leaderboards with the, it's not maybe so much that who's the first, guild that actually cleared the dungeon or first boss kill like a lot of rating, but maybe it's more leaderboard time type stuff, or I don't know. They've been releasing those APIs, of late and churning that out. So maybe there's something like that. Maybe they'll integrate spectator mode with the rating or something like that. I don't know.
All right.
Oh, Jesus, you guys are. I'm watching the new Batman game on the PlayStation 4 for Arkham.
Come on, Gary.
Crap! Maybe it's the new Batman game. It's unique to Guild Wars 2. They're gonna put the first in the Arkham series into the game. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pay attention to everything. I'm multitasking. We're doing a show, but there's a lot of media going on that I need to pay attention to. So I'm trying to watch it. I'm like, holy shit, this looks amazing. Last of here. Finally, when he was asked about if there was anything that could be done to get people to their capital cities, and he said yes. So I'm basically going to say capital city raids confirmed, done.
Capital city raids.
Yeah, you're meaning like what humans and divinities reach and Char and Black Citadel.
Raids, full-on raids in capital cities, just open world raids, done.
With the one faction capital city raids.
Wow.
What do you think you can do? What do you think you're going to do to get people back to the capital cities? He says yes. The answer was just flat out, yep, it'll get done. What are they going to do?
You know what's interesting? After last week's show, when we actually brought up the fact that, the capital cities get underutilized, after the show, I remembered, all right, so during the show, I mentioned, hey, Super Adventure Box took place in Radasum, got players there. But after the show, I realized, some of the Living Story and Flame and Frost, you were doing things in Black Citadel and in Holbrecht, right? And it wasn't a lot of stuff, but they have been doing little bits of that. So I think if they put a couple more mini games in each of these, cities, and then tie some more Living Story stuff to have players go in there, that's a very easy thing for them to do. Now, whether they have bigger plans like your rating idea in the cities, I'm not sure, but they can very easily satisfy the make people go to the cities more often requirement just through their Living Story and through these mini games, which they're already putting out.
Yeah, they could just have a portal just like they have Fractals in Lion's Arch. Like all of a sudden you have a portal and everything around in Lion's Arch is Karkas killing everybody and stuff like that. Or, just a different instance. And that could be raiding, of course. just a big instance with a bunch of people in it. But I mean, when it comes down to rating, you wonder if there's a bunch of people in there, is this going to be like the Carker Queen where you just beat on them like over and over? Doesn't matter. Just keep beating on the Carker Queen. Oh, it went down. You know, or are you going to have like hardcore mechanics? Like, oh, you can't kill her unless you throw eggs at her or something like that. You know.
I think you need some more mechanics. To be honest,
yeah.
I think it needs to be a little bit more intricate, a little bit more. You know, I think we need some waves and different mechanics going on. I think that's the thing we've been talking. We've been talking about it for months and months and months.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're doing an open world boss fight, I think they need some secondary objectives that have to be met while the boss fight is going on, right? So, you know, you have the people that are just standing there spamming at the boss, right? Trying to survive that, but you need to have another group or other groups doing other things that are critical to that, right? They need to, you know, defend this point over here, and that has to remain under player control because they need to charge up this, you know, weapon or whatever, you know. So you need, you know, and then you need a group of people to make it up a jumping puzzle up here to hit a bunch of levers and stuff, you know. So I think it needs to be in an open world environment. You need to have multiple things going on that the players have to pay attention to, so they just don't stand at one big mob and fire their buttons.
Right.
So.
All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about some Reddit stuff and E3 stuff, but first I want to tell you guys about a great deal we got going on with Audible. If you guys have not checked out Audible, go right now. I will wait. Go to audible.com/gamebreaker. Use that URL. Gotta use that URL. Gotta use the URL. Audible.com/gamebreaker. Use the URL. Sign up today. You're going to get a free trial, and we're going to get you a free audiobook to start you off. So if you've never tried out Audible, audiobooks on your iOS or Android device and other devices as well, I believe, but most people out there got the iOS or the Android, right? Probably most of the market. You listen to audiobooks. This is not a Star Wars show, but on our Star Wars show today, Larry Everett, he recommended this one here, Deceived, Star Wars: The Old Republic, Deceived. He said it was a great book. There's tons of Star Wars actually on here. I'm sure a lot of the people out there are Star Wars fans, even though it's a Guild Wars show. It doesn't have to be Star Wars: The Republic, but there are a ton of Star Wars novels on here, like a ridiculous amount. You got a Star Wars shirt on?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, look at that. He's got a Yoda shirt on. Oh, so you're a Star Wars fan. If you gotta check out the look at all these books on Audible, man. There's tons of them. Deceived.
Oh yeah.
Fate of the Jedi, Book 2, Omen. All you got to do is sign up, get a brand new account. You can download one of these absolutely for free as part of your your brand new subscription, or your brand new free trial, I should say, actually. So check it out. Go over to audible.com/gamebreaker, make an account, and start download the app and download your free book and get to listening to it. I guarantee you will love it. I've been a huge fan of Audible. I've been a subscriber for, I think, about 6 years. I think the last I checked my account, I think it's about 6 or 7 years I've been with them. I absolutely love it. I can't read. I have no, especially with Gamebreaker, I have no time to read. It's the only way I get to like consume books is through Audible. Like, forget pages. Plus they're dirty. I'm kind of like, I just want books. Like dust and dirt. Who wants that?
Books are dirty.
Dirty.
Maybe the kids section of the library.
Nah. Dust
Blow off the
collectors.
dust.
Why are these books moist?
There's no dust
moist.
There's no dust collecting on my iPhone, and there's like 50 or 60 books on my iPhone. So I don't know.
There's been a study very recently. I read it because I'm a germaphobe and I pay attention to these things. That cell phone surfaces are dirtier than like public restroom toilet seats, kitchen counters, everything. Like in terms of bacteria per like millimeter or something like that.
Probably because you like put it down and stuff, and like pick it back up and put it down, whatever. I wear headphones, so Audible headphones. There you go. Check it out today. Use that URL, audible.com/gamebreaker. That's audible.com/gamebreaker. All right, so we're doing this show earlier in the week. If you guys didn't notice, probably a lot of people are hitting the site, watching this on the download right now, being like, when did you guys do a show? Why are you doing it on Monday? Well, because it is E3. Today kicks off E3, and like I said, we're going to be doing tons of coverage from E3. We're going to head down there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, shooting a lot of video, all kinds of stuff, so keep an eye on the website. Lots of stuff will be get posted up, a lot of MMO stuff. But let's take a look at some of the top-rated topics on Reddit from the past week. That's what we're going to do. Really, we're doing that because there's, well, nothing else to talk about. So
Well, before we jump into that, I do have something to talk about a little bit. I got to preview Dragon Bash a little bit, and I wanted to make a public service announcement for anybody for this coming weekend, right? This coming Friday through next Monday, there's going to be a fireworks celebration in Lion's Arch every 2 hours, and if you stay for the 5-minute fireworks show, you will get rewarded with a little chest, and inside is a dragon helm. You'll get a set of 3 of these, a light, a medium, and a heavy. They're account bound, so you can share the 3 helms on your account, and they're combat armor, which you can dye, and they're cool, really cool-ass dragon helms. So make sure if you are able to log in this coming weekend for the fireworks show, don't miss that, because these armors are awesome.
Not town clothes.
Not town clothes?
They're not town clothes.
Oh, snappy snap. You can actually fight in them. All right.
And neither are the dragon wings backpacks that you can get.
Right.
Those are combat ready as well. So
that's a nice little.
They better be.
What'd you think of the Dragon Bash? We posted it up on Gamebreaker. There's also Troy's review, but you probably did the same to you. But what did you think of the Dragon Bash? Did you like it?
There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff going in tomorrow. There's, the PvP minigame Dragon Ball is a blast. It is very fast paced. They said that they really wanted to capture the old Quake style deathmatch. So it's a team based deathmatch minigame where you're firing things and you can run around the map, gain power ups, new abilities and stuff like that. New abilities that only last until you die, which is awesome. So you can get like full deck of 5 abilities and run around and smash people, but if you die, you lose it. And it's really well done and super fun. People are going to be.
They have like springs as well.
They use the jump pads from Super Adventure
That is
Fox.
awesome. It was cool watching them sort of jumping around with that.
Yeah, and they're directional based too, so you can kind of really take advantage of it. You can hit them at a certain direction. Oh, and if you dodge roll while you hit them, you actually go further. There was a little dev quick tip that they gave for us. But yeah, people are going to be screaming for this to stay in the game permanently because it's a blast. Yeah, there's lots of other things to do. There's fireworks. There's open world hologram emitters that you kill monsters for. There's the whole meta achievement, and the living story is going to progress, and it's really cool stuff.
And the MOA races, they're actual MOAs racing. It's not it's not one of those quick time like, oh, okay, yeah, I bet on this one, and you don't see the MOAs. You actually see the MOAs. No, you see the MOAs. Yeah. So it's good. Confirmed.
Want to ride
you
the
can
MOAs.
Run with the MOAs.
Run with the MOAs. All right, first up, question from Reddit. This is the question. Should dynamic events be visible on the map zone-wide? That was the question. That was a very hot topic. I think the main concern straight away is what would it make the map look like? And I think it is UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. It's ugly.
Yeah, it would look like
it would look
like dozens of little babies threw up their baby food all over the map.
Well, there's not that many events, so
they just had sweet potatoes. Wouldn't be good.
What about but on the flip side, they could make it an option, right? Couldn't they make a settings in the options menu so that you can kind of like toggle it on and off? I don't know. Do you think that they should do that? Do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think so because when you go, it makes the world feel more alive, and it'll make more players gravitate towards the event. So if they go on the map, right, and they're looking for an event, or they're just trying to level up or something like that, and they'll say, oh, okay, the Centaur Assault is attacking. Oh, let's go over there and do that event real quick to get that XP. And everyone will just kind of gravitate to that. Because if you're just on the map and you're leveling, and you don't know if an event spawned or not, and you actually want to do the event, or you want some extra XP, you won't know unless you actually see the event and you're actually near it. So I think it's definite they should put it in. 100%.
And I think part of the concern for a lot of players or people who were talking about this on the Reddit thread was that they found it extremely frustrating, like seeing an event, running there, and then having it end.
That already happens, though.
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah, I mean that
happens.
Matthew Medina posted that they said those exact concerns. That one, it's ugly, it's not aesthetically pleasing, and two, you would see things on the map and then run to it, and then it would be over. And then the third problem would be like you take a big performance hit, right? If that was just constantly had to be real time updating for the entire world. Yeah, I mean, It's
Oh, the
tough.
entire world? The entire, not just the map that you're on, the entire map?
Well, that's what we're talking about, right? That
That's what
they
we're
need
talking
to be.
Whoa. Whoa. No way. I didn't think it was the entire map. I thought it was the map that you were on.
You mean okay? So you mean just the zone? All right.
Oh, hold up.
But
Is
still,
it just a zone?
No,
or the
I think they were
entire
talking
map?
about the entire map, so you know where to go, and you could zone hop and like go
Holy
find
crap.
other stuff to do. Like, oh, if I don't really have anything around here, I can go over there and do something.
If
I
they
don't know,
could
but
do that, that would be pretty cool. Definitely. But man, that's pretty crazy.
I mean, maybe instant teleportation. I don't know. Maybe they should just, maybe if you miss an event, they should just give you a virtual hug.
It's a new
Guild Wars-
currency.
Guild Wars 2 would never want to hurt you. You missed the event. Here's your virtual hug. Now feel better.
Well, they already do that when you fail an event. It still pops up with a little medal, and they give you some of the carbon experience.
Event failed. And they'll probably send you a little
Viewers-
message.
Viewers
Virtual
of
hug.
other shows will know what this means.
The slot machine.
Any other potential problems? It's the feel good slot machine. Any other potential problems with this besides the map looking bad?
I couldn't
No,
see
well-
much problems except for a performance hit. If it's the entire map, that's gonna be a performance hit, like guaranteed. Like some people's like as soon as they press M, you know, because usually you get more frames when you press M, right? Yeah, some computers are gonna explode if it's the whole map. That's it. Definitely. That's the
Yeah,
only downside I can see.
For people who really, really want this kind of thing, I mean, the community's already making overlays, right? Using the new APIs, and you can do one for the major like boss events and stuff like that. And it'll actually, as long as you're playing in a windowed mode, it'll put a little like UI on the side of your screen and tell you on your server how long until each of these big boss events, light up. So as they continue to get, they continue to kind of utilize these APIs, I'm sure that the players can use an overlay of sorts to just do the zone that you're in so that you'll know when other events are going on. So I think the community will solve this problem before ArenaNet kind of addresses it.
All right, this next one is the top rated thread on Guild Wars 2 Reddit this week. This is it, the big one. The issue for a lot of people here seems to be that the Citadel of Flames dungeon is just too profitable to run with the best group compositions. Have you guys had experience with this? Do you know exactly what they're talking about here in this scenario?
I asked it on Twitter because I don't run COF as I used to. Once I got my legendary, I was like, I hanged up my farming coat. I was like, I'm done. But the group that they run with is the most people say is 4 warriors and 1 mesmer, right? And the 4 warriors have berserker gear, so it's like crit damage and precision. And I think that the mesmer runs the same thing, but the mesmer can like group, use time warp and stuff like that to kind of help make it a faster run. And people run it like in 5 or 6 minutes tops, and they get quite a bit of money if they do that all day. So yeah, I guess it's kind of the thing. It's like, okay, if you this is the best money you get, and once you taste it, you're gonna be like, okay, a guardian, no, you stay over there. I want another warrior, please. So I can see how that's gonna come about and how that happens. He's watching E3.
What? Sorry.
Oh,
This is the new version of the playing Jeopardy music while someone's talking. It's you staring at your computer
What is
monitor.
this game they're showing? I am just completely like what is Santa Monica Studios?
I'm gonna watch it after the stream. I have to watch it.
This is in game, and my
I can't
jaw
miss
is like
the
on the
E3.
floor. Holy crap! I'm
Well,
sorry.
you should put that up on the screen, and we'll do Mystery Science E3 Theater.
I'm sorry. I don't know what this is yet. Santa Monica Studios. It looks amazing. White chat. I don't know what this is. It looks amazing. All I know is it's all in game. So if it's so is it less of is there less incentive then? Or you stopped running it because you got your legendary? But do you think for most players it's less incentive to run than or run other dungeons? There's less incentive to run other dungeons because it's so profitable?
Of course. I mean, what's the point of running other dungeons if you have the gear already? I mean, the whole point that they're running COF is because of the money, not because of they want the gear. You know, once you beat a dungeon, I think that's it. It's just like, okay, I don't need to run you know, a raw 20 times a day anymore because I already have the gear I want, you know. Unless you're going for money, there's no really point to it, really.
Is this a class? Is this? But you talked about the class balance, the composition. Is this a class balance problem or a problem with the dungeon itself?
I don't think it's a class balance issue. I think, you know, it's those guys are, you know, warriors do a lot of damage, right? They got I'm pretty sure they go in there with their Zerker and their great swords and do 100 blades and just tear through people like nothing. And it's the fastest way to kill. If it's the fastest way to do AoE and kill everything in the area, then that's probably the class that they pick. You know.
Yeah, I think part of the issue is that they look at like the tools like looking for Guild Wars, looking for group, whatever, and you pull up anybody that wants to farm, and they definitely want to farm that instance. And there's a lot of people that will only accept certain builds and certain people that are, you know, geared a certain way or spec'd a certain way, and it's just got that, you know, that elitist mentality a little bit to it. And you know, anytime that there's people that have that kind of you know, mentality, or they're trying to be, you know, exclude other players, there's going to be people that rail against that as well. I don't know. I play these games so differently than other people. I don't necessarily want to kind of diminish this. You know, and to be fair, I didn't read through this entire huge post to know every point that they're making. But you know, if you don't like the way, you know, pugs are running a dungeon like that, then get 4 friends together and make a set night where you're going to be running and then do whatever
Richie, these
want.
are MMOs. We play them by ourselves. We don't get friends. You solo the entire thing. It's not how you play. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong, Richie.
Apparently I'm doing it wrong because I save myself a lot of stress and anxiety.
All right, I gotta go change my pants because that was called The Order 1886, apparently, a new game, and I'm just gonna go have to change my trousers. So,
all right, quick break.
Matt Visual, follow up on the Twitter at Matt_Visual. You got to do the underscore, Matt_Visual, and of course, check out his YouTube channel for his awesome content over there on the YouTube. Matt_Visual. Always a pleasure, sir. Richie Procopio hanging tough in there with a throbbing, heart-beating mouth. Follow him on Twitter at Richie Procopio. Make sure to go over his YouTube channel as well, where he's got all kinds of great content. That is Bog Otter. YouTube channel, Bog Otter.
Thanks, sir.
I forgot who I am. Follow me, Gary Gannon, and I don't know, E3.